So we've got a Dawn of War 3 1v1 head-to-head match for y'all here. This is a bit of a special one. It's pretty epic. It's got a lot of back and forth and a lot of going for it, so I'm not going to spoil the outcome, but I think you'll really enjoy what happens. It's a bit of a long, grueling cockfight, and you know how much I love a good cock in me. Or fight in me. Good fight. A good cockfight. But kind of going through what we've got here. Oh, look at that little guy. Did a little early warp on my Bone Singer to start capping this point really quick, to go over what we've got as far as doctrines go and elites. I'm rocking with Ranger Ronan, Farseer Maka, and the Striking Scorpions, and I've got the Avenger Guardian Shields as well as Webway Hollowfield and the improved Scream. My opponent, on the other hand, Killer Ribs. It's actually kind of cool looking in slow-mo. He's rocking the Assault Terminators, Gabriel Angelos, Kill Team Iron Maw. A solid line. That's probably one of the lines I'd probably use if I didn't have the normal Terminators in there. With improved Plasma Grenades. Huh, didn't know they... Oh, wait a minute, what's this? That's weird. Well, apparently there's a bug here that I thought was fixed in a patch, but I guess not. Well, we don't know what those are. But let's just kind of get back, let's just get to the action here going on. Bring us up to normal speed. Actually going to speed it up a little bit because the early game's always kind of the same for me. Pushed out really hard with the Bone Singer. One of you guys was telling me that you can warp with the Bone Singer, so I took that to made that my advantage to get an early cap going. It's not that far of war. We had this little down cap going, and they already started in on here, and this point. I went with the elite point and this one over here, so I had a pretty early rush advantage going on with only one tactical squad out. I think it's got another one. Oh, it only has one tactical squad. I'm pretty sure he was hard teching for, yeah, hard teching for Assault Marines there. I thought I had a pretty good border control here, as you can see. I think so as well. Utilizing that stealth. Gets a little drop on me. Slow this down at normal speed here now. But I got that user interface. So we've got some Assault Marines jumping in just so we thought we had a hard tech to those. Two on one when it comes to Assault Marines is not going to be too good of a fight for me. Those Assault Marines do chew me up pretty hard when it comes to melee. But I believe we've got a third unit. There we go. Third unit of Avengers coming to reinforce me. Kind of help keep that pressure on. I like to really keep as much pressure on to any opponent I've got, because one of the most important things of this game is the ebb and the flow, right? So if you let them kind of recuperate, or you give them a chance to get a purchase on their own unit production or requisition, it gives them a chance to really control the map. And at this point, I've got 5 of the 7 total points. So I've got a lot of control coming on here as far as requisition coming in. I'm getting 440 there. I think it's 440 a minute or like every 10 seconds. I'm not really sure what the actual breakdown of that is. But now we've got 4 units of Dire Avengers. He's rocking some snipers and some still a singles tac squad. And another unit of snipers now, and his Assault Marines. One thing I've really noticed in the quote-unquote meta is that a lot of people are... Oh, he's got the Overwatch ability, so that's important to note. A lot of people are actually skipping tactical squads entirely. They're making one initial one to push and get some early engagement, some early capture points going, but then they go right to assault squads, and they typically just harass with scouts until they can get some of the bigger, heavier hitters out in the Space Marine army. Good ambush on his part here. Did not see that. He had snuck into the cover there. But I got my Striking Scorpions out. A little follow camera action here. I like follow around the good stuff. Still a pretty solid front line for me. I mean, nothing to necessarily scoff at. But those snipers do a pretty hard number on Dire Avengers. Just like the Rangers do a pretty hard number on tac squads, or they're not as great against boys, but it's still pretty good enough. That any kind of sniper in general in this game is a pretty effective unit. We have him flanking over here on my leftmost power point here, or not power, resource point. Decided to kind of help liberate that. Ooh, look at those sneaky bastards. Just plucking Eldar down. Look at that guy just gunned down. Got Iron Maw coming out, and of course, you know, I had a bad engagement right there, and I honestly did not see that coming. I was like, oh yeah, I'll use my 3 Guardians here, and this shouldn't be a problem at all. I'll just kill him. I'll steamroll him. Then Kill Team Iron Maw gets engaged, but we have a really strong engagement going on here because Kill Team Iron Maw is getting worked down pretty hard with those Striking Scorpions. Striking Scorpions in general have that hunt ability, so they can get out if things get a little dicey for them. So they can stay engaged a lot longer than you would normally want an elite unit engaged. As you can see, I use that to kind of duck them out as soon as their shields drop down. But I saw we had some reinforcements coming in. Why not jump back into the fray, huh? Got the Manda Blasters doing their slow on them. Probably could have kept that push going. At this point, he's capturing over my elite point here. And now I've started to bring out some of the Rangers. I really enjoy the Rangers in the early game with the Eldar. I know a lot of people like to jump right immediately to Howling Banshees, but I find that I just enjoy the way that they play. I love Howling Banshees, but I just look he's dead at Eldar, man. Just a sad day. I just enjoy the kind of utility that the Rangers give me against, say, assault squads. If I've got Striking Scorpions to really kind of help eat that front initial charge. You can see the snipers sitting here in these shields, plucking away at me, doing quite a bit of damage to those Avengers. Yeah, they're Avengers. I'm calling them Guardians because I'm so used to them being Guardians normally. But I pulled the same tactic, as you can see, with 2 sniper squads. Take that! Got that stealth out of there. Keeps them around for a little bit longer. Really gets a lot more value and utility out of this unit because it does couple really well with this elite doctrine. I'm sorry, with their... Where is it? They have an elite doctrine they give to Howling Banshees that they get the benefit of hunt. I thought it pops up on there, but I guess not. I think it actually pops up on the Howling Banshees themselves.
You have your
Got a listening post coming up here to help me lock down this point. Stupidly, though, I probably should have had these guys grabbing this, but I didn't want to bother with any suspected scout sniper I knew was probably over there. Interesting tactic that he went with here. He chose the Malleus tactics, Latin for hammer, with his Death Watch, which I would actually not have done. The Flamers would have eaten my ass, quite honestly. Like, if his Flamers had engaged with my Striking Scorpions in that earlier engagement with it was just the Assault Squad and the Kill Team Iron Maw, it would have killed pretty much my army and he would have been able to push all the way home. But, interesting choice there. Do a little harassment, trying to... I like to do this kind of tactic where I send one unit in to kind of try and pull attention away. Like, okay, if I do that, maybe I'll pull out the rest of his army, because if Fog of War's on, I can't see what's going on here, right? So at least I'm trying to use a low-value target unit to try and get some more value out of them. Cause them to displace. Get that Striking Scorpion Kung Fu leap in there. And they get sacrificed for the greater good. But definitely worth it, I think. Just going balls deep. They've upgraded over here to power swords, so they're going to be doing quite a bit more damage, cutting through things like butter. Howling Banshees down. Got two units of Rangers and one unit of Avengers. Really getting harassed pretty hard here. You can see that this is a pretty low point for me. He still has quite a bit of an army, and I'm kind of just running for dear life at this point. But we got some more Howling Banshees coming out.
Power generator complete.
Howling Banshees really do turn the tide when you've got quite a bit of Assault Marines to deal with. they just kind of have it creates something for them, for the assault marines to get mucked up in rather than going directly for your backline. And Escalation Phase 2 kicking in really kind of helps out any army because it allows you to get a requisition boost if you're already ahead like I was. Also, boom, look at that guy just getting caught in that. Bring in the lovely Maka here.
Upgrading infantry damage.
Turn the tide on those assault marines, those dicks.
Rangers shall aid our cause.
Got some more, another ranger coming out. Got that webway gate up. One thing I really struggle with is the relocatability of Eldar. I mean, I should have done that.
A ranger has answered the call.
I always forget to do that.
Within enemy range.
The enemy is on the field.
Okay. Got a little engagement going on here.
We have completed.
At this point, I was kind of scared.
We have
I was like,
upgraded
what?
infantry damage.
I guess I'm okay to keep pushing around here. We've got a pretty good, strong army now. So we've got 2 rangers. We've got Maka kind of as a front line, torchbearer here. We've got really good amount of Howling Banshees to counter any kind of melee we've got. We've got just a Diremator unit to kind of hold the line in general.
Let the enemy beware the
Really big fan of the way Maka really kind of adds a lot of utility and crowd control with her Singing Spear, her Psychoblast, and Temporal Weave.
Our webway assembly shall attain tier 2.
Going with tier 2 on the webway, that's going to unlock some vehicles for me, start making that infinity portal, so we've been working on some Wraith Guardians. Starting to get a pretty fat army at this point now. We've got 3 Howling Banshees up, we've got 2 Rangers, and we've got a 4th Howling Banshee coming out. So this is really gonna counter a lot of the assault presence that we've been seeing in his army so far.
Resource point captured.
So it's just kind of interesting, because this is what I'm seeing. It's kind of interesting to see where he was at, like during this point and that point of the game.
Sniper on target.
Ooh. Got some striking scorpions over here for a little hunt and sneak attack, little flank action. Boom! So take a look how I use Maka in this engagement here. So boom, spear out, blast, and I unfortunately missed this. I tried to use Temporal Weave to catch Angelos. There we go, we finally caught him in it. But this is allowing me to completely destroy his Kill Team Iron Maw. There's so much going on there.
Summoning rangers.
And I'll be honest, I'm not really sure why I fled back like that. I think I got scared that this was a orbital strike for some weird reason. But now we're going to have so much more damage back onto Angelos to help neutralize him as a threat in general.
Rangers answer the call.
Please do keep in mind, with these banners, you can get on top of them and capture them for yourself. It doesn't, I don't believe it gives you a benefit, but it neutralizes the benefit that it gives them. We got all of our melee units getting in there real deep like and cutting up his Iron Maw, who's just about on the brink. I can get a little bold with striking scorpions and let Maka's up because they're going to go into stasis if they die. Pop a little hunt so they can get out quickly.
These fools wish to be prey.
A little fallback, There's always that point in the game where you're not sure what they've got behind it, and it does kind of cause some intrepidness. You're like, ooh, do I push too hard, or I kind of hang back here? So definitely went with the hang back route. Didn't realize what he had going on. Just not much of anything. I could have been bold and pushed. but I think I still made the good move there.
The Avenger Shrine shall send its warriors. A requisition generator. The foe has destroyed a requisition generator.
Little bastard's doing some sniping over here. Getting some more Dire Avengers out to again. Just kind of have. I like to kind of color the army with some Dire Avengers to have just a general mass of bodies in there. But now that we're getting a Sky Portal out, I've noticed he doesn't have a ton of anti-infantry, anti-armor. Did not realize the Dreadnought was out, but that's going to help me kind of put a different kind of pressure onto his army.
Point lost.
At this point, heavily contested almost the entire match so
We
far.
have upgraded infantry health.
Always make sure too that you are popping in some infantry upgrades and some vehicle upgrades when you are ready for that point. You can tell here I didn't do a good job of staying on top of my upgrades. I let the infantry shields slip a little bit, and infantry damage is just now getting to rank 2. So just Bush League, ItalianSpartacus, Bush League.
Power generator under attack.
We did bring out Ronahan though, the rider of Rohan. That's going to give me some extra skill shot and stunning of capability against vehicles, but also allow me to kind of see his army if I shoot in directions.
We have lost a power
Some scouts doing some scouting, as you know, scouts do. I can say I probably hung back a little too long there. I would have liked to have pushed earlier, just to get, you know, again, presence on the board, put in some... He was trying to snipe this location, so we pushed over with some Howling Banshees. And you know, what do Howling Banshees do really well against? I'll tell you what, it's not a Dreadnought.
Summoning Dark Reapers.
And at that point I realized, you know, time to start bringing in some Dark Reapers to help me deal with vehicles. I saw that starting to, oh, okay, if he's got a Dreadnought, it's only a matter of time here.
The Infinity Portal is complete.
And I'll be honest, this really scared me. I didn't know what to expect at this point. I didn't know because I've completely now sacked this shield generator. I didn't know if that meant that, okay, his whole army's down here.
The shields generator is under fire.
Enemy contact!
The power generator is complete.
You don't need to destroy both shield generators. I couldn't tell you why I did. Just kind of seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Maybe like that 1-2 nut punch. Not sure, but they at the same time destroyed my shield generator, which I did not realize until after it was destroyed. So I felt like just a classic fool, as they say. Jumped in with some assault marines, but wasn't too worried. We did have quite a bit going on here as far as mitigation for those assault marines, but Maka, sorry, did not quite enjoy the melee pressure. So I launched her spear, and boom. That was the intention of launching that spear back there, because I knew I'd be able to overextend him. But the problem is, though, I moved Maka, knocking out what would have been a really good crowd control to then neutralize what was left in his army. Like I said, this game does have a bit of ebb and flow. You saw how large my army was a second ago, and a lot of this came down to improper control grouping. You know, I should have had a better spread of things. I thought I did with the range back here and assault up here, but still, things can crumple on you pretty hard. You do have to be careful.
You are failing our elite warriors.
These guys get pretty vicious.
A Viper jet bike answers the call.
Because they can keep moving and firing, keep moving and firing, keep moving and firing. And the longer that they engage with units, the more damage they do.
Not lose us that point.
Got some ninjaing going on down here. Really starting to split the map in half now. He's got 1, 2, 3, almost 4. No one's captured this. I should have captured it a long time ago. But bringing the other boys of the band, the Wraith Guard, these gentlemen are not meant to be fucked with. Like, they're literally eating those shots. Don't even care at all. This is when things kind of start to get to like that late game that we always talk about, right? With the Infinity Portal up, I'm now capable of making Wraith Guard, and Wraith Blades are just around the corner. And even the army I've got right now, I've got 1 Wraith Guard, I've got 2 units of Shadow Specters. We've got some Dark Reapers to kind of help maintain a back firing line. I typically don't like to use Dark Reapers because I'm not a big fan of their setup and teardown capability, or setup and teardown requirements. But Rangers have the same thing. I just feel like they set up like a little bit longer. And he went and grabbed the elite point. Gonna push on those Kill Team Iron Moths, see if they're really out of place here. And with my type of army at this point, the Kill Team Iron Moth doesn't stand up to much, or can't stand up to much. I have no idea how many scouts he just had just sitting there looking at me. And this is the same ambush I fell for earlier in the game. And then I almost died right there during the recording of this one. Then my like antithesis of my being, whirlwinds, just destroy Eldar infantry if you can really pepper them well. I mean, wait until he gets them on any of my units and it'll show you exactly how potent they can be. Snipers though, still doing quite a big number on my units. I mean, they're almost knocked down these Shadow Specters to that, no shields. Yep, 2 of them were killed. But, you know, I figured at this point, okay, they've got so much going on. Oh, watch this. See, you gotta be aware of whirlwinds when it comes to Space Marines versus Eldar. Like, that just took the wind out of my sails. You know, but sometimes you're pot committed. Really good tactic is this thing will shoot for whatever's closest for it. So if you get a Viper and bring it to the back of its turret range, you've got exactly what just happened here. You've got the turret spinning away from your army, not shooting a whole devastating line through you, and allowing your units to really pour on some damage. Yeah, there goes my Striking Scorpions, caught by that lonely turret. Got 3 very ravenous units of Assault Marines. We got a Gabriel Angelos. That thing would have ripped me up had it landed on me. Skill shot. Fwamp. Now, it doesn't do the most damage, but it does a lot of... It's really great at locking down any of those big, heavy vehicles that we're going to be dealing with here. These Wraith Guard, I genuinely did not know what they were doing. I think I set them up there, and then I didn't realize they were getting just their asses pounded. They've got this Soul Recall ability, which I should have used, but I just... Man, I didn't. But you can do this, self-cast. Double-clicking Soul Recall will automatically target the nearest Infinity Portal, which is kind of cool. So if you're in a bind and you've got a bunch of them, you can highlight them like that, double-click it, and they'll all Soul Recall back to the closest Infinity Portal. Mine so happens to be here. Again, this is me not using the relocate ability. And them being painfully slow, that is not a suggested way of doing things. I think eventually we do get a webway connection, though, so... But again, we've built up another sizable army. Uh-oh, what's this? See, just look what that does. We lost almost an entire unit of Howling Banshees with that. So you really have to be wary of A, clumping up. That's when this ability, Webway Hollowfields, can come into good use. You can pop it and make your army effectively stealth while you're waiting to do another big push. He's starting to pick me off here with some sniper rifle action. And why not, you know, snipe the snipers.
Upgrade complete.
This does reveal his army, of course, so that my snipers can shoot on them. Or I don't have any, I'm sorry. My Dark Reapers can shoot on them. Wraith Guard, they're just gonna do a shit ton of damage here. Like, if it's a Ranger Rohan getting focused down. But I deliberately did that because I wanted him to do exactly this. I wanted him to pull all of his Assault Marines into the brunt of my army, because I knew I'd be out of range of majority of his whirlwinds, which you can see they peppered the land in front of my Wraith Guardians. And now we've got a pretty sizable engagement here. Or, I'm sorry, a pretty favorable engagement for us, because we've got some Howling Banshees able to do quite a bit of damage. We've got a really strong backline that can fire. Knocked out Angelos. Those Wraith Guard, look at how they just pour on the damage. That and, everything else is firing at that single Dreadnought. Some striking scorpion action going on. And I wish I had known that was there, because this peppers and destroys Howling Banshees. And then the Assault Terminators, which are pretty... I mean, honestly, I'm terrified of them. You can see. Jesus. Jesus. Ooh, got some heavy drops on my army here. We got a Dreadnought, we got an Assault Squad, we got a Predator Annihilator. The Kill Team Iron Maw, we had focused down pretty heavy, hot and heavy right there. So I'm okay with that exchange. Shadow Spectre's doing their work on the Dreadnought. We've got our Wraith Guard trying to pummel in as much damage as we can the Assault Terminators, because we know we got to get as much damage as we can onto them to get them down. Those things get pretty furious pretty fast. And Wraith Guards in general are just very tanky. This whole match I can say I didn't, spoiler alert, I didn't use the slow recall ability the way I really should have. And I'm pretty disappointed in that. And flap, there's that Ronahan stun from the skill shot. If had my units been closer, we would have been able to capitalize on that Dreadnought. Again, there's that elite point that just should have been captured. Oh man, he had scouts here? Little bastard! We just progressed up now to tier 3, so we can get access to some Wraith Blades to kind of neutralize that melee presence that they've got with some big, tanky, fat, slow units. And now we have the Eldritch Storm unlocked, which, I'll be honest, I don't really know how to use, because I've not really had to use it a ton. In fact, I'm reading it now going, sure, still don't really know how to use it. Causing damage and a stacking slow in a circle. It can transform one of your units into a conduit, creating a storm that slows and calls down lightning into a ring, or in a ring. If the conduit is killed or disabled, it will expel the unit and convert to a cloud. Units surviving the purge are temporarily enabled to become did not know that. But again, pretty good engagement here with his tac squad. I think those were flamers. The nice thing about the Eldar army is that it's meant to take apart and control their army. So if you have that in mind when you play them, you can get a lot of, again, value and utility out of what you're doing.
Howling Banshees answer the call.
Here's that Viper tactic I've got here again. Again, so the way this works is you take the Viper, you charge it towards their turret while your army's charging in. Just like this. Whirlwind is just fucking me up. So now they're focusing here. This thing's going to shoot in a line. It can typically survive 1 or 2 blasts. But, womp, there it is. Not sure why I didn't have my Banshees attack right off the bat there, but game changer. You can get on top of this and then take over the orbital bombardment, but I just put myself in a corner there. Try to capture it, try to capture it, try to capture it. Losing Wraith Guards, whole army dead. Still have some Dark Reapers, got Ronahan, still got Maka doing some damage in the Striking Scorpion, so our elites are still in the game here, right? He doesn't have much in their way of army either, though, so we're okay for now. And as you can see, this is just this is a vicious back and forth. I mean, I push, he pushes, he pushes, I push. We both push. We all push for ice cream. Got a lot coming out. We got 3 Howling Banshees. We got another Viper. We got some Wraith Guard already out. We've got a Wraithblade coming. We got 2 Dark Reapers. So rebuilding fast because I've got such a high amount of requisition coming in. We've started using Ranger Ronohan's abilities here. But things are looking pretty grim, not going to lie. Even though we've got units coming, we don't have a ton on the board. And he's got quite a fat little support unit here with these 2 Predators and his elite units that are down here. But Striking Scorpions, hand for hand, or point for point, take out Kill Team Iron Maw. So got a good engagement there. Maka was able to use her Temporal Weave to lock down Angelos. Like I've said so many times, it's so important to lock down units so you can focus down other things that matter right now. So we're getting those, we're able to focus down his other units that are attacking before we now switch on over to Angelos, now that we have more units that can engage and do more damage and knock him out. Angelos getting thoroughly put down here like a sick dog. Really hating that fucking whirlwind now, wherever it is right now. It's right there. But now we got a good pushable army again. Just loving the way those guys look.
Dark Reapers at your command.
Got some more Wraithblades coming in. I really enjoy Wraithblades late game. They're just a really good tanky unit.
Enemy contact. Northeast of your position.
Knock out that damn whirlwind. That stun from Ronohan knocked it out in this one spell swoop. Couldn't be happier. Just some cinematic shots here of the carnage. His core is just in sight. Doing some tactical retreating here. Got a lot of units coming up or in reserve right now, so we want to really get them before we do any kind of big pushes here. This guy should have soul recalled him, so at least he was, got more value out of him. More Shadow Specters. Got a lot more Wraith Guard again.
Shadow Specters answer the call.
One shot, one kill.
That ebb and flow, that back and forth. He's got a real strong line of snipers back here just shitting on me, but I realize that. Got that Maka Spear into there. Assault Terminators back up. Those are never, ever, ever fun. But Dark Reaper or Shadow Specters do a hefty number on them if they can continue to focus on them. Locked down again with Maka's Spear right there. Temporal Weave allowed me to really neutralize them and get a good bearing of what was going on. Shadow Spectre just got fucked out of the air right there.
Return fire! Let gravity do the rest!
Starting to really do some pushing here. Not sure why I didn't choose to destroy the enemy power core right now. I can't tell you how much I hate Deathstorm drop pods. They really kick some hard ass. Those 5 assault cannons really do a hefty number. Kill Team Iron Maw again. Got another Predator Annihilator back here. Got a Dreadnought. Almost knocking out these guys. Got a big ol' orbital bombardment coming. The game should have been over. Right there I should have knocked out that power core. Used Eldritch Storm for the first time. Didn't really know if I did it right or anything like that, but I just kind of kept it there. Maka was brought down. Shrek and Scorpions brought down.
Enemy beware the howling banshees. A falcon to command.
He's got a pretty good army here. 2 Predators. Got a kill team here. We knocked down his assault terminators though, and Angelos was pretty recently killed, so we're kind of at odds with our timers here.
Howling banshees answer the call.
But now we've got a fancy fire prism here. Or is it fire prism or normal? That's just a normal falcon. Gotta love those Wraith Guard. To be totally honest, those things rule.
Your service.
I can be honest with you, I'm not sure why I let... A lot of things went wrong in this matchup.
Wraithguard will
He made mistakes and I made mistakes, and they were pretty big blunders. And because of those blunders, it did lead to a lot of this back and forth, which made for a really great epic game. And I'm really excited at the how this game played out, because it was really fun. But a lot of what happened could have been avoided in the early game, or in the mid game, or even in this late game. Like this game could have been over by now if I had destroyed that power core.
answer the call.
But you see here, we do have some issues coming our way. We got 2 Predators coming. We got a tactical squad on the way. Things start to get pretty dicey at this point. I mean, it's not a uber gank squad, but if I've got nothing in my base, it doesn't matter, right? That's going to do a pretty hefty amount of damage to them. This guy's at half health. I could be using a shockwave, just didn't really do it. Thank God though I had started making a pretty fat army.
Shadow specters answer the call.
Falcon.
Big old swooping bike or grav tank. I love these things.
Summoning wraith blades.
I like the fire prisms a little bit more. Not much stands up to though. This, I mean, you could win the whole game with this just right here. I mean, those Wraith Guards are so damn strong. Just shooting crap loads of crap at things.
Shadow specters are ready.
So we have another big army here again. We've got 3 units of Wraith Guard. We've got 3 units of Howling Banshees. We've got the Striking Scorpions up because of Shadow Specters. We do have this Falcon. We have 3 Shadow Specters, no less.
Wraithblade complete.
Ranger Ronahan's back up.
Half the light to follow. You have the Scorpion Shrine's patient hunters.
Some more Wraith Blades coming out. So I think at this point we're good for another push. We've grown fat off the land. He's got a pretty cool little elite Doom squad here, which is his Iron Maw Angelos ready to hold the line. Predator Annihilator and a Dreadnought coupled with a Whirlwind. But I was waiting for Maka to come out because I knew she was just around the corner. I wanted my elites to have the ability to come back out because of her elite doctrine, Last Chance.
Now create webway links between
Let's get a big push going here. Let us end this.
Securing vehicle health upgrade.
Got some sneaky assault squad going on here.
Our Infinity Shrine is
I
under fire.
honestly, this bothered me a lot. That should have been up there already.
Raising power.
Not much is going to be able to stand up against this army here.
Infinity portal is a ruin now.
But you know what does stand up to this? That. So, we see here, you know, 2 units of Assault Marines completely left alone in a base. He destroyed my Infinity Portal. So the Infinity Portal means that I can't actually recall my Wraith Guard to help here. I've sent back the fast units, but now we have to start focusing on his Power Core. And it really comes down, you can see at the top here, Power Core for Power Core, Power Core for Power Core. Just those Wraith Guards pouring it on, pouring it on, pouring it on.
Infantry health up. We may now cast the Eldritch Storm.
And he's shooting up the back line. He's got Whirlwinds dropping on it. He's got a Dreadnought coming down. And it was really close there. If you notice at the very top, that last minute, we were just about defeated. Like 10% left on my Power Core. It was a really, really good match. Pretty damn fucking epic. I really loved the back and forth here. This was one of the ones from the stream, and I saved it because it was such a great match. A lot of mistakes were made on both sides, but I think that because of it, it made for a really good, really long, really engaging game. I didn't have any really big cool goodies to show off as far as elites go, but this was just one of those epic games where at the end of it, you're like, whew, came out on top just barely. And I mean, he didn't have a whole ton to go on or go against me with in this end part. All it took was just 2 assault marines to ninja my power core. That almost completely happened. So you can see, like I said, the ebb and flow of this game, and how if you make a little mistake, it can kind of develop into a larger game, or a larger or a quick loss like that almost was. So glad you guys were able to join us here. I know this was a bit of a long one, but it was definitely a really fun one, and I wanted to really show off how this game can really get crazy and get epic and get really tug of war-ish. But thanks for joining here, guys. Have a good one. We got some Lordhammer coming out, Lizardmen on the way, also some more head-to-head campaign and other goodies planned for you. But stream on Saturday. Do know that there's around 2 or 3 p.m. Pacific Standard. I'll be doing a stream, 2 hours of Dawn of War, Warhammer, Total War Warhammer, and Vermintide. So do be on the lookout, guys. Have a good one and take care.